So, hello and welcome everyone to another interesting episode of the Reflection series, the series where we share stories that recharge and rejuvenate us. And today we have with us a wonderful brother, Vinu Chhima. Vinu started practicing Rajayoga meditation at a young age of 11 years in New Zealand with his parents. He is currently in Australia, actively supporting various service activities in the Information Technology Department and the Brahma Kumaris publishing house named Eternity Inc. for the past 27 years. And the title of the story that we would be sharing with us today is A Karma Yogi Life. He will share what it means to be a Karma Yogi and also how being a Karma Yogi helps in our day-to-day lives. So a very hearty welcome to the program, Brother Vinu. We look forward to hearing what Karma Yogi is all about and your experiences around it. So welcome once again, and it's over to you to share your story with us.
Thank you, Lataben. I've had various experiences as a karma yogi throughout my life, and I think some of the benefits of being a karma yogi is like, first of all, we actively have a union with the higher being, and then go about performing our day-to-day activities, and that really benefits us in that we make less mistakes, we don't feel tired, and we go about performing our actions which actually benefit not only ourselves but benefit the wider community, because if we're in that karma yogic state, we actually spread these pure vibrations throughout wherever we're positioned, whichever room we are in, or if we're with a group of people, then they can actually feel those vibrations and experience an uplifting stage as well. So one of the benefits that I've had is like, if I was doing a large, like Eternity Inc. literature order, say for example 30, 40, up to 30 or 40 boxes to pack, I wouldn't experience any tiredness in that at all, because first of all, I've just linked myself to the higher being first before performing actions, stabilize myself, and just go about finishing whatever activities I had in an accurate and sort of tireless way. And also, if you have any sickness that comes about, if we find that actually we can recover from any illness very, very quickly, because it's just like some of these sicknesses are just like psychosomatic, or maybe it's a mental thing which actually affects the body, but we can actually remove that sickness just through our state of being, through that positive stage if we're linked with the higher self. So we also, one of the practices I have in the early morning hours is just to have that create an angelic body of light where we can experience ourselves as being very, very light, and we know that an angel actually has no connection with the world, and it's sort of detached from the world, and it actually just enters the physical world and without belonging to the world. So if we have that level of detachment, then one of the things I experience also is that we don't experience the bondage of the physical world, and we just go about performing our activities without having that bondage. And another benefit of that is that we don't have the experience of owning anything, and we can't say that it's I. We have a difference between I and mine, and we can just hand over everything and say everything is yours, because in actual fact nothing belongs to us. So in that way we don't become, there's no bondage while we're performing our activities. And another benefit which I felt is that if we're in that yogic state, is that we're actually becoming, and we're actually absolving some of our past negative activities, and in that way we become lighter and lighter. So if we're in that yogic or meditative state, all of our, with our service activities or our normal day-to-day activities become becomes a more benefit to the wider community as well. And another benefit I had was that our personality traits become more and more aligned with our true divine virtues, and that we try and absolve all our past negative karmic accounts, and through that personality change in our personality, we can actually benefit the wider community. Another benefit of leading this karma yogi life is that we don't feel burdened with many worries. We become like more carefree, and we're not sort of burdened by all the things which because currently, like we can see in the world today, there's so many things going on in the world where there's the world in such a bad state, but we don't really worry about that at all. We just carry on with our normal activities because we're connected with the higher self and the higher being. Also, another benefit of that leading a karma yogi life is that we can control all of our physical sense organs when we're performing actions in a yogic state. So we're not pulled by all of our sense organs as well, or the environment around us. And if another benefit what we have is that if our religion or our belief system is really accurate, we know who we are, and then if we act according to our true self, then we know we have these three benefits, which is we know who we are, we accept ourselves, and we move along while accepting that. So these are some of the benefits I had leading a karma yogi life.
Yeah, beautiful. It's like it doesn't seem like more and more work. It's like more and more making your life beautiful when you have that awareness of being a karma yogi. If I can ask a question, like there may our viewers, some of them may be, just beginning to meditate. Some may be meditating for some time, or there may be someone who hasn't ever done any form of meditation. As a beginner, uh, how can I start, or what awareness should I keep to become a karma yogi?
The first thing we should understand is that we are a spiritual being. If we understand that we are a spiritual being, then, and not this physical body, then what we can do is experience some of our original qualities which we all have, and then bring all of those qualities into our life, and also whilst we're performing our day-to-day actions, if we experience ourselves to be that spiritual being, then perform actions after that, then when we're linked with the higher being, that actually helps us a lot in our daily lives. And also our actions become a lot more accurate, no mistakes, and it just helps us connect. And it also affects the people around us. Say, for example, at work, where sometimes there's a stressful situation. Say you've got a lot of activities to complete, or I work in IT, sometimes where there's a lot of complex problems to solve. Instead of panicking, we just need to really ground ourselves first, accept who we are, and know who we are first, and then go about solving that problems. That actually helps us, not only the people around us, but our job becomes very easy. We don't have to worry about the outcomes. We just complete our jobs in a really peaceful manner. And that helps not only ourselves, but the people around us in our office or wherever we work.
Yeah, very interesting thing. Uh, you give very practical example that, sometimes at work, there may be things to do which you find yourself unable to understand or not sure how I'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
So uh, sometimes I may be trying to ground myself and, keep calm, remain stable. But on the other side, my mind is also running in all directions. How do I uh, come back to a state of equilibrium and say, okay, I will be able to do it. I am capable of doing it. And then maybe, uh, you know, do what needs to be done. Have you ever been in a situation like that? A little up and down, and then, it went steady ahead and you were able to accomplish it.
There's many examples of that, because if we look at the actual problem at work, it might seem like a huge problem, but instead of looking at the problem first, we need to ground ourselves and just remember all our original son's personality traits and all of our qualities first. If we ground ourselves in that state first, then we can actually look make it look like a very small problem. Because otherwise, if we look at the problem itself, it's a huge problem. But we ground ourselves first, remember who we are, who our original selves are, then that problem becomes just very minute. I've had many experiences of that, and it's really helped, and also helps with the concentration. It helps it. If we're in that karma yogi state, the concentration becomes very powerful, and actually you don't waste a lot of time. You just go straight to the problem and resolve it that way, instead of thinking about all the peripheral things, which is like a large problem can be made very small very quickly, and can be resolved very quickly.
And while you were sharing, you also mentioned that if we practice being a karma yogi, then if there's any illness in the body or sickness in the body, we're able to overcome it, or uh, it goes away easily, and we don't maybe suffer that much or experience the pain. Would you like to elaborate a little bit more on or share any of your experiences in that regard?
So one of the things is, like, I mean, when we're working, we have an allocated number of sick days. Say, for example, 20 sick days a year. But I myself have a whole stock of sick days that I haven't taken, and up to 80 or 90 sick days are left in my sort of account there. So one of the things I do is in the early morning hours, if I just become very, very light in terms of thoughts and try and experience that our subtle selves, then actually there's a healing that takes place in meditation as well. So if we're in that state of lightness, our body can actually be healed through that stage. It heals ourselves automatically just through our thoughts, because our thoughts leads to whatever actions we have as well. So in that way, I don't hardly ever get sick. If I get sick, it'll only just be a very short period of time, and I can heal myself very quickly. And that goes for if I've had a very physically taxing day, the same thing. I can heal myself very quickly just through that stage of meditation.
That's so beautiful, and so much needed in today's world where we actually do a lot of things, and definitely the body needs equal care. So if we have a technique that will help us heal easily, there's nothing better than that.
Yes.
Another thing that caught my attention is which you mentioned about the packing of the boxes, to give an example of that, or could be any other tasks, which is a little more tiring or a lot to do. Uh, Normally, if there's a lot of things to be done, we may get into the consciousness or a thought pattern of, oh, I have to do so many things, I'm not enjoying it. Or there may be a lot of other waste thoughts that may go in our mind. How do we shift that circle of waste thoughts into a positive way of thinking and change our consciousness to say, I'm a karma yogi?
I think first of all is that if we have a clear aim and objective and we have a clear link with the higher being, then everything becomes very easy. All these complex tasks or tasks which are going to take us a long time, it becomes very easy because we don't think about the activity itself. If we just looking at that activity, then it becomes a huge burden. Instead of doing that, we link with the higher self and then perform actions accordingly. That becomes a very simple task. A complex task becomes very simple, and a large task also becomes a very simple task to complete. So in that way, if I have a long list of items to do, like a huge to-do list, then I don't look at that list and it doesn't become a burden for me. I just complete the task while connected to the higher being. So, and that task becomes very accurate as well. We don't make mistakes, and and it's a pleasure doing it. It's like we enjoy it as well. So in that way, it doesn't become a burden on ourselves.
And has there been any like situation where someone else was supposed to help or cooperate and say they didn't turn up, or just excuse themselves, and uh, you were left by yourself to do it? Was there anything like that happened, and how did you face it?
And that's happened on many occasions. But if we understand, it's not, if we can't really have a reliance on people to help us all the time. So I understand that people are busy and they might have another task or activity they need to complete first. So instead of thinking about them, again, we just connect with the higher self, and it becomes, if we understand that um, everything is sort of accurate and it's just we just can't keep thinking about, oh, they should have come and helped us, or I was relying on them. um, we just have to have that self-dependence, and also we're actually we're not actually alone doing the task. Once we're connected with the higher being, and then we're actually in partnership, and it becomes like a true friendship or partnership, and we're just doing that activity together.
That's a beautiful thought, that
Yeah.
instead of having a, physical being, someone to help you, I shift my consciousness to say, the higher being is my friend now, or has come to help me, and
Yeah.
I work in partnership with him,
Yeah.
and that makes it even more enjoyable. And I get rid of my waste thoughts or blame or anything that might maybe having in my mind. That's a beautiful way of looking at it. And lastly, since you have been practicing meditation for such a long time, what would you like to say for someone who's, just about, say, exploring what meditation is, or thinking, should I meditate? Any thoughts or advice that you would like to share?
I think if we just start out in a very simple manner and just say, for example, practice in the early morning hours or after or even during the day, for even a few minutes, or at the end of the evening, what happens if we have that practice of meditation, say for example, at the end, even at the end of the day, then we can sort of any negative things which are happening during the day, and we can make an account of resolving any issues we have during the day, and just that 5 or 10 minute period, we can actually get a good night's sleep, for example, and that leads to a positive outcome at the end of the day, and also the beginning of the next day, so that everything is always becoming for our benefit. Because if we, say for example, go to sleep angry or worried about what's happened during the day, then it sort of becomes a cyclic situation, and we can't get out of it. We can't get out of that negative situation. So instead of doing that, we can resolve any of the issues that we have in our mind at the end of the day, complete all those accounts, and then start the new day fresh the next day. And it helps a lot, like for concentration and all sorts of things like that.
Beautiful. Thank you. So, be it early in the morning, end of the day, just a few moments of, uh, say, letting go of whatever we have done, just coming back to our original state, and then we start the day again. Yeah, good way to begin. So, thank you so much, Brother Vinu. It has been wonderful hearing your experiences and chatting with you, knowing a little more about, how you practice that in your day-to-day activities. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today. And uh, we will now have a little meditation experience through a commentary for everyone to experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sit relaxed, let the mind be still, and let yourself step into your inner silence. I focus the energy of my thought, the center of my forehead. I, the point of light, a point of eternal peace. I go to my home, and in my home, I see, I feel, the one who is the supreme source of life, the one who is eternally benevolent to all things. The one who is called the eternal truth, the eternal light. And as I come closer and closer, I begin to understand how this being is so pure and remains constantly positive, constantly true. The one who has the knowledge of this universe and of my life. The one who is the supreme source of truth. The one whose state of being knows no sorrow, nor gives any pain or sorrow to any other being. Being truth, the Supreme Being is in a constant state of freedom. And as I come closer and closer, I realize I too must become true. I'm inspired to become totally free, free of all selfish desire. Because in this state of freedom, I recall, I remember my original purity. To be pure is to be real. To be pure is to be natural. The pure is never violent, can never give pain or suffering. The pure maintains the law of life, and the law of life is love. The Supreme Being is the source of love, unconditional love. In essence, my original quality is also of selfless love, but I had forgotten it. But as I come closer to the source, I begin to remember and I begin to experience that pure love once again. This is the love that accepts me. And in this acceptance, I am nurtured, I am healed, my heart opens, my heart begins to trust and to believe in life. Love, the Supreme Source, is love. A love that forgives, a love that gives, a love that allows me to be myself, allows me to be what I truly am. A love that does not interfere or possess. A love that gives space and growth. And as I sit here in silence with you, the Supreme Benevolent Energy, I absorb your rays of love deep into myself. And as I absorb, I am given the courage to change. I am given the faith to believe in myself once again. Your rays of spiritual love make me feel confident that transformation and growth will be achieved. Your love gives me peace. I am at peace with myself. I am in harmony with myself, and I am learning through your love to be in harmony with others. There is no conflict. There is no pain. I'm free. Love gives me the contentment of knowing my true self, but also knowing you, the benevolent one. You never forget who you are. I forget. I forget my value. I forget to respect myself. I forget that all things are within me eternally. Your love helps me to remember. In this link of life, in yoga, with you, I remember who I am. Let me remain in this remembrance of your purity and my original purity, your peace and my original peace, your love and my original love. You gently guide me back to myself. I have awoken. My consciousness is filled with positivity. My attitude is renewed with love and with understanding. Love and understanding.
Thank you all. And if you would like to know more about us, please do visit our website, www.brahmakumaris.org.au. All the details of our programs, the centers and retreat centers is all available there. So we hope to see you at one of our service locations. So hope you enjoyed the episode, and maybe you could try practicing being a karma yogi. Karma, action, and yogi, meditative state of mind. So a meditation whilst in action. Take care, and we will be back with another interesting episode. Om Shanti.